This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about getters and setters. It comes under the encapsulation. Encapsulation already know. We're going to hide the data as well as code in a single wrapper. That's nothing but encapsulation. You can give some restriction to your functions as well as variables. Okay, you can give the public member or product member or public member or private member. You can provide access, whichever variable or function you're giving access, then only user can able to access those variables. If you are restricting some of the variables or functions, the outside users cannot be able to access your variables or functions. Now, yesterday's session we have missed one topic. Okay, before going to getters and setters, I'm going to discuss about the name mangling. Name mangling is nothing but if you want to access your private member, if you use underscore underscore, this is going to private member. If you want to access variable through creating an object, you can't able to access, because though it's a private member, within a class only you can able to access variable. If you want to access variables by creating an object for this employee class, you can go for the name mangling. The name mangling syntax will be underscore class name and double underscore data member. What I'm trying to do here is, after creating an object, employee object, having the instance emp dot, I apply syntax. Class name will be employee, and then data member will be for me salary. I give an underscore to salary. Now we can able to access the private member through name mangling. Okay, as well as they have provided some rules to you. You can see summary points. Name mangling concept applies when the attribute is prefixed with double underscore. Only private members or private function you can able to access through name mangling. Okay, if the attribute is prefixed with single underscore, it will work like a normal attribute. Okay, no need to use name mangling. Directly you can inherit the properties of the parent class, and then you can able to access variables. Okay, now today's session we're going to discuss about the getters and setters. Getters and setters means, I will say, it comes under the encapsulation. Um, okay, the main purpose of getters and setters in object-oriented programming is used to ensure the data encapsulation. Whether you can using getters you can able to get the value, setters you can able to set the value. For example, you have one method. That method I am going to set some value. Okay, I have a login method. The login method, what I will do, I'll set the username and password. I'll set the user and password for my login method, and then those who need my username and password, I will provide the getter methods. Using my getter methods, they can able to retrieve my username and password. This is the purpose of getters and setters. Getters means you're going to get the value. Setters means you're going to set the value for a particular function. Okay, this two getters and setters in object-oriented programming is used to ensure the data completion. Whichever function they want to access, you have to provide getter methods. Okay, if you are going to hide some of the functions, you can use only setters. You can able to only set the value, but none of the user cannot able to get the values whatever you have set in that function. Okay, and then using getter setters, you can add some validation logics, and then for getting a value as well as for setting a value. Okay, uh, for example, if you want to get the value, if the user, if a user means those who have created the class, those who provided those who provided class, if they given access for you, then only you can able to get the values using getter methods. And then you can write some validation logics for getting the value and setting the value. As well as second point is, you can avoid the direct access of class field. Okay, if some of the user is directly trying to access your class field, you can able to avoid. Okay, because already you know private variables cannot be accessed directly or modified by external user. Any of the user cannot be able to access your private variables, as well as they cannot be able to modify by any of the user. And then if the user is providing the access for getter methods, then you can able to get the value. Okay, Now I'm going to show how to implement the getters and setters. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to in the encapsulation comes under encapsulation, going to make the Python file as getters and setters. Used to ensure the encapsulation. Setters. Okay. Now I'm going to you can have some class employee, then you can have a constructor, and then you can able to set the value as well as able to get the value. You can able to set the value as well as you can able to get the value. Okay, what we can do, we'll create one more instance. 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, we'll keep the it as employee. The class name we will keep as employee. Okay, and then I'm going to have one constructor. Okay, in the constructor I'm going to have age. The default age is going to 0. Okay, the default I'm going to set the age is 0, and then I'm going to create one protected member. How to get a protected member using namespace? How to create a protected member? I want to what name? I want to single underscore you have to use. You have this variable and then just going to argument. Okay, and then I'm going to have the getter methods. You are going to use getter method. Getter method means you get the value. Setter method means you're going to set the value for that function. Comes under the encapsulation. Now I'm going to I'm going to get the age, right? You can create some method and then self is nothing but instance, current class instance, and then I'm going to return the value as self dot age, and then I'm going to use setter methods using the setter method. Okay, def set age. Okay, now I'm going to have a variable like I'm going to give some x. Now I want to set the value. I want to set the value. Have the variable h equal to x. Argument is going to be x. Argument is going to be x. Okay, now what I'm going to do? I'm going to create an object for this class. I'm going to create an object for this class. Emp equal to employee. In the constructor, no need to pass any value. In the constructor, no need to pass any value because I given the default value age equal to 0. No need to pass any value over here. If you are not providing any default value, then you have to use some values for the age. Okay, because the default value is 0, age is 0, but using setters I'm going to set the value. Okay, now what I'm going to do, using setter function I'm going to set the value. Using setter function I have to use, I have to set the value. Which function I have to use for setting the value? Which function I have to use for setting the value? Already shown here. Which function you have to use for setting the value?
Set age.
Set age. That's it. Set age. In that you can pass the x value is going to be somewhat I passing 20. Now I can able to set the value. If you are not providing any getter method, you can able to get the value. If you are not providing the getter method, someone can able to get the value. I'm asking you, if you are not providing the getter method, some of the users creating object for this class Can they able to get the value? Can they able to get the value
No.
of age? No. That is nothing but the data hiding. It's called data hiding, or you can say it's information hiding. Whichever class is providing access for the getter methods, then only they can able to get your age. Now you can able to see. You want to get the age, right? Print and then emp dot. Hold a minute, I made a mistake. I have to give the proper indentation. Now you can able to access the age. Now you can see the results. It's going to print 20. This getters and setters code comes under encapsulation. Whichever method is providing access, those users can only able to access methods. The remaining users cannot able to access your methods or variables. Now, if I want to access the age without object, okay, I'll do one thing. Yeah. Okay. How to access age? How to access the product member? How to access this protected member? You have to say
Use any
how does protect member?
instance.
Instance emp dot
Get age.
get it. See, I am saying that I'm not going to call the get age function. I am saying I want to access variable. I want to access this variable. It's a protected member actually. Okay. Now, how to access the protected member? I'm asking you. Protected member is underscore age. You have to put underscore age. That's it. It's showing like 20. Why it's not giving the default value? Because if you're calling underscore age, it has give you 0, right? Why it's not giving? Why it's giving 20? Think for a while. Though I calling the underscore age, it has to give 0. Because the default value I given as 0 here. Why it's giving 20 again? Using setter methods, you set the value instead of 0 setting as 20.
20. Yeah.
20. Okay. Setter is nothing like a global level access. You can able to access your instant. You can able to set the value for your instant variables. Okay, that's what you're getting 20. If you change 30, the underscore age value will be going to be 30. Okay, this is a basic example of getters and setters. And then now I'm going to discuss about the property function. Using property function, how to achieve the getters and setters. See, I'll say a few things about property files. We can in Java, I would say, okay, we can save this file like save as, like I'm going to like obj, like keep some name, file name dot properties, file name dot properties. The property files will be like a string and key and value pairs, key and value pairs. Now it used to have to store like this, key and value pairs, key equal to value. Okay, now I'm going to keep as equal to 10th. Which one is a key, which one is a value? As is going to the key, 10th
Yeah.
is going to the value. This is how you have to store the key and value pairs. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show how to use the getter and setters using function property function, using property function. Okay, now I'm going to have one more py file, getters and setters using property function, property function. See, property function is like a built-in function it's a built-in function actually for creating and returning a property object. It's a built-in function for creating and returning a property object. There are three methods on a property objects: getters, setters, and delete function we have. Mostly the property function takes four arguments actually. Takes four arguments: getter, setter, and delete, and then document strings. Can in the property function you can pass four arguments. You can pass a getter function, setter function you can pass, delete function you can pass, and then fourth one document string. What are commands you have, right? You can pass all those commands in the fourth argument. And then the function getter in the property file you're going to pass a getter function is to retrieve the attribute values, and then function setter used to setting the value of an attribute, and then function delete is going to delete the value of an attribute, and then the fourth argument we're going to pass is going to be the attribute is given the document string by the documents. Now I'm going to show the implementation. I'm going to have like same example. Okay, employee, and then I'm going to have one constructor. Then I'm going to pass same thing, age, and then I'm going to pass both age and salary this time, age and salary, and then I'm going to have the protected member underscore variable name is underscore age equal to age, argument is age, and then salary is going to be self dot whatever number is salary equal to salary. Now I'm going to have the getter functions using the getter functions. Okay, using the getter functions, def get ph, and then I'm going to print something like it's a getter method one, and then I'm going to have the return value because we're going to return the value only, right? I'm going to return the value return. I'm going to have like self dot age, and then I'm going to have one more getter function for salary, and then I'm going to have one more print statement method 2, return self salary, and then now we're going to have the setter functions using setter function. Using the setter functions, you have to use set underscore age. I'm going to set some value like x as a print statement, setter 1, and then you can have like print statement. So no need of print statement now. I want to set the value. What's the variable? Variable is age equal to x. Okay. Setter function is not having any return value. Going to only set the values, and then you're going to have one more setter function for the salary. For the salary, make it method 2. Salary. Okay. For understanding, you can keep y. Second argument, you can keep it y. Okay. Now, okay. what are the, I have two getters and then two setters. Okay, property function will take four arguments. What are the four arguments? Function getter, function setter, function delete, and then document strings. Function delete and document strings. For delete, I'm going to write some methods using the delete function. Delete underscore. See, after returning value, I want to delete it in the property file, right? See, I'm setting the value in property file. I'm returning the value. After returning the value, I want to delete from the property file. If you require, you can delete it from the property file. At the time, you have to use delete underscore h. Yeah, what are you going to do? I'm going to delete the variable itself. Directly, I'm going to delete the variable itself. How to delete the variable? Using del keyword. Del stands for delete. I'm going to delete age variable itself. And I'm going to have one more for salary. You want to use which keyword? Del keyword for deleting. Del underscore salary. All are the protected members. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to have one variable, public variable. What will it is? Public variable. Don't think this age variable. Okay, I am taking public variable. Age equal to what function I have to use? I have to use a property function. You can see if you put the bracket and place your mouse pointer, it's going to say how many values you have to pass for this property function getter. See, property is actually a class. See here, I will show properties. Yeah, properties is nothing but class. You can able see, right? C is nothing but a class. C is nothing but your class, right? The class will have definitely have a constructor. Definitely will have your constructor. That's why it's showing in it. Property is a class. They're going to have the constructor. In the constructor, how many arguments you have to pass? You have to pass the four arguments you have to pass. That is F stands for function, function getter you have to pass, and function setter you have to pass, function delete you have to pass, and then document string you have to pass. Document string is optional. 1 minute. Document strings you have to pass. Document string is optional. It's if required you can pass. Okay. Now I'm going to pass the property. I'm going to pass. What property I can pass? See here. First property. Sorry. For property, I have to pass four arguments. Keep the mouse pointer. It will show. First you have to pass a getter. For age, you're going to pass a getter. Where is the getter? Get underscore age is there, right? It's going to the function. Let's pass in the property. See, this property is a built-in function. It will maintain one property file. In the property file, it's going to keep key and value pass. Key and value pass. That's called property. Next one, what I have to pass? Set age function I have to pass. And then, what I have to pass? Delete After age. Returning the value, I want to pass the delete age. And then fourth one is optional. You can pass any document strings for your understanding. I'm going to mention this is age variable. Like this, you can give some document strings in single quotes or triple quotes. Just reformat the file. Okay. Now, through property, I'm going to return the value. Okay. For that, what you have to do, first create object for this class. The class is employee. You can able to see in the topmost the class employee. I'm going to create object. I'm going to have instance emp equal to employee. Okay, now you can able to see here. Yeah. I have constructor, right? I have constructor. I going to keep age equal to 0, salary equal to 0. Then no need to pass in the constructor. No need to pass any value in the constructor because I have set some default values. Age equal to 0, salary equal to 0. It's the initial value I set it over here. No need to pass any arguments. If you are not setting any default value, definitely you have to pass the values in the constructor. In the employee constructor, you have to pass. Okay, let it be. Now, what I'm trying to do, I have an instance dot age is there, right? I'm going to call the age equal to 22. If you do like this, what will happen? You have the instance for this class. You have an instance, and then you have the property function variable age. You are trying to set the value using setter age function. Setter age function. Now, if you want to get the value, what you do? Print employee dot age you have to call. After setting the value, you are trying to get the value, and the value should be stored in the which variable? Age variable. Now, if you run the script, you will get the result as 22. Okay, hold a minute. Again, I'm getting some issues. Yeah, I made a mistake. I have to pass the function name alone. Okay, that's what it's showing, like I am missing one record function argument self. Okay, let's pass the function name alone. If you run the script, get hold a minute, why it's not giving setter methods 2 and getter method. Okay, it's calling the setter methods 2 and then getter methods 1. What happened? Wait. What happened? Setter methods 2, getter methods 1. I'm getting the default value 0. But I should not get any default value. We'll do one thing. Self dot age. Oh, it's not giving self dot age. Okay, self. Okay, I'll keep this variable underscore age. See what happens. Okay, and then run the script. Yeah, it's giving like 22. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is initially I'm setting the value as 0 for this variables. Okay, after that using property function I am passing the 4 arguments get age, set age, and then delete age. Okay, now by creating class for this, by creating object for this employee class, and then what I'm trying to do here is through instance I'm hold a minute, underscore age, right? Wait, underscore age 22. 1 minute. Oh, it's showing error like this. Employee underscore age. Runners maximum recursion depth. 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now see here, if I try to run the script, it's showing like employee in it missing 2 positional arguments, looking for agent salary. I already said to you, in this employee constructor you should not set any value because setter only you have to set the value and then you will get the value. If you are trying to allow pass any values in the constructor, anyone can able to set the value and able to retrieve the values. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove these arguments and then I'm going to make it as 0. Salary is going to be 0. I'm going to initialize and then next step what I'm going to do, in property function, I'm going to pass the three functions: get age, getter age, and setter age, and delete age. Okay. Now I'm going to create the employee class. In the employee class, no need to pass any arguments because I have only instance I have. Apart from that, I don't have any parameters. No need to pass any values. And then I going to set the value of 22 using instance dot this age equal to 22. Now what will happen? This setter function will be called, and then I am substituting the value as 22 in the age field. 22 in the age field, I am setting the value. Okay. Now what I going to do? I am going to retrieve the age through the instance dot age. Now it has to give the value. It has to give the values. Why it's not giving the value again? 1 minute. Why it's not giving the value? Again, it's giving 0. Age equal to 22, and then employee dot age. Okay, it's not giving the value. Get age given, set age given, delete age given, and then yeah, 1 minute. Get age, set, yeah, okay, get age given, set age given. I'm passing the value as 22. Passing value is 22. Okay, 1 minute. I'll remove this document strings. Let's see what happens. Document strings. Again, I'm getting the value 0. How it happens? Yeah, I have the constructor age equal to 0, salary equal to 0. And then using getter function, setting the value, set age. Okay, set age I'm doing, but it has to give. I used property function. 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now, if you run the script, it's getting the value of 0, but I have set the value as 22. It's taking some default value. Okay, what I have to do, I made a blunder mistake. That mistake is, see, I have one getter for age, and then I have setter for age. I using the two setter functions. I made a mistake. Instead of salary of set of salary, I made two setter functions. So that what you have to do, you can change set of salary, set of salary. Okay, now what you can do, if you run the script, now it's going to display the value as 22. First setter method is called, and then you are getting the value and it's printing the value as 22. Printing the value as 22. Okay, now I'm going to have one print statement, method of delete 1. If you run the script, first you're trying to set the value as well as getting the value, and then it's giving the 22. Same thing you can copy and give it for salary as well. Instead of age, you can provide salary, and then you can give the functions get of salary, and then set of salary, and then you can provide delete of salary. And then what I can do, I go and set the salary emp dot salary equal to 2 lakhs. Okay, 2 lakhs, and then the print statement using instance emp dot salary. Okay, it's going to retrieve the value. It's going to retrieve the value. Okay. Um, Set salary missing two required positional arguments, self and y. Let's see. Yeah, set salary. Okay, I made a mistake. I have to pass only the name. Okay, now it's giving the minutes, tens, hundreds, thousand, tens, lakhs, 10, 20 lakhs as a salary. Same thing, the constructor you can pass like this as well. Okay, age, comma, salary. You can give some age equal to some default value 0. Salary is the default value 0, and then you can give age and salary. Okay. Now if you run the script, it's going to be the same value. But one thing you have to keep in mind, you should not pass any values to your constructor directly, because you should not provide any access to them. That's why you're giving a default value 0, 0. And then using setters, you can able to set the value, as well as getters, you can able to get the value. Using property function, how we are able to set the value, and then how we are getting the value through the property function. Using property function, I am matching the getters and setters. Right now, I am setting up the session.